In the wake of the continued unrest amongst fans, the Chicago White Sox lost to the Yankees on Tuesday night, 7-1. It was yacht rock night, and the offense was as sleepy as some of the pre-game songs being played. Luis Robert Jr. was the only offense. TA was out of the lineup. Yasmani Grandal left with an injury, and Andrew Vaughn, the hero from Monday night, struck out 3 times. Are things so bad that it might be time for a reverse boycott?
You are Locked On White Sox, your daily Chicago White Sox podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, Sox fans, welcome back to Locked On White Sox. Thank you for making Locked On White Sox your first listen each and every day. We're free and available on all platforms. Follow us on Twitter at Locked On Sox. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just search Locked On White Sox. Today's episode is brought to you by BirdDogs. Go to birddogs.com/LockedOnMLB or enter promo code LockedOnMLB for a free white tech hat with any order. You won't want to take your bird dogs off, we promise you. Hey, I'm your host, Nick Morawski, a lifelong, die-hard Chicago White Sox fan, recording this podcast just blocks from the ballpark in beautiful Bridgeport. You can find me on Twitter at Nick_GGTB. Locked On White Sox is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Our Chicago White Sox will take on the New York Yankees in the series finale on Wednesday. Mike Clevenger is on the hill. Catch every pitch of the White Sox hometown broadcast with Sirius XM on the SXM app. Search White Sox. State of the Sox, 46-69. Hey, it was yacht rock night, and I was there, as you could tell by my hat. If you're not on the YouTube channel, you're just listening to the audio, get on over to our YouTube channel. You can check out this beauty of a giveaway. I mean, this is, in essence, the perfect giveaway. I mean, I don't know how many more times I'm going to wear this captain's hat. I didn't even, I kind of didn't even realize they were giving this out to, to as many people. I thought this was one of those special tickets that you had to get. I wasn't even planning on going to the game on Tuesday. My wife had got free tickets. It was in a suite, which rarely happens. I'm rarely sitting in a suite, which is a fun experience. You're especially on a game like Tuesday where there's not much to pay attention to. And you get one of these beauties and walking around. Before we went up to the suite, I'm trying to figure out yacht rock music. What exactly is that? Heard a lot of Air Supply, easy listening, some Journey, just easy breezy, kind of like the Sox offense. And then, it went up to this suite, and they have all the food and everything you want, and everybody wearing these captain hats all over the ballpark. It was great, except for the score. Sox lost to the Yankees 7-1 on Tuesday night. Touki Toussaint was on the hill. 5 innings for Touki, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 5 walks, 9 strikeouts. His ERA 4.27. He threw 106 pitches, 5 innings, 106 pitches. So 5 walks for Touki, I believe 7 from Cease on Monday. Sox pitching giving up a lot of walks. They're also striking out a lot of batters. We'll talk about that in just a moment here. It was Cronin who looked pretty good. I mean, if this is some audition stuff for 2024, some movement on his pitches, and Banks gave up 3 runs in his 2 innings of work, allowed 2 home runs. Aaron Judge got him. It wasn't one of those tape measure Aaron Judge shots, but just a moonshot from Aaron Judge. White Sox pitching, you've had to have seen this, or you're probably following this ongoing stat here. White Sox pitching struck out 17 batters on Tuesday night. Yet, of course, the Sox lost. White Sox are now 0-11 this season when striking out at least 14 batters. Entering today, the rest of MLB is a collective 125-50 when recording at least 14 strikeouts. That was from Chris Kamka of NBC Sports Chicago. 0-11 when striking out at least 14 batters. I mean, that's stranger than fiction. Just unbelievable. That is how this season has been going. 2023 White Sox. That's the definition of it. Sox offense, 1 run, 6 hits. Luis Robert Jr. Solo home run. That was only really the only offense, his 31st of the year. Vaughn and Sheets each struck out 3 times. TA, of course, not in the lineup, getting hit in the forearm the previous game. Yaz left the game due to knee soreness. And they put, Perez was in there, and he, he was able to throw somebody out at second. This is a guy that Pedro Grifol said they're excited to kind of give a look at and see what they've got with Perez. And so we'll see what kind of playing time he gets in the next few days and what is going to happen with Yasmani Grandal. I think he's day-to-day from this knee soreness, but come on now. I just think his playing time with the White Sox is done. He's owed some money here, but come on, he's not the future at all. What are you going to do with this guy? We will see. Aloy was the only White Sox player with at least 2 hits on Tuesday night. Sox themselves struck out 13 times, had only 1 walk, 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position. There were some opportunities late in the game, but typical Sox just could not string some stuff together. White Sox, they lost to the Yankees in the wake of this continued unrest amongst fans regarding really the direction of this organization and the lack of accountability from the top down. A bunch of articles were out there on Tuesday. Paul Sullivan had one in the Chicago Tribune that is worth a read. And then John Greenberg in the Athletic had an article entitled, "Once Again, the White Sox Find Themselves Explaining Why They're the White Sox." A pretty lengthy article, but well worth your time if you have the opportunity and you just didn't get around to it. This thing, it's kind of just disgusting to me, this ongoing culture, not necessarily maybe with the team, which is a problem, but the front office. And then where does it all start? It's got to start at the absolute top. And we've been dealing with this over and over now as we begin a somewhat remodel, retool, a new rebuild, however you want to call it. And the same people are in charge. The same stuff is happening. Nothing is being addressed. They say that, things are being fixed and it happened at the trade deadline and now we're moving in a new direction. But I'm sorry, I just cannot believe that. I just can't. Not again. Don't fool me again. On Monday, this is what Greenberg wrote. On Monday, Reinsdorf was approached by a few of us, and one reporter asked if he had a second to talk. We didn't expect him to say yes, of course, and he said no and briskly walked away through a crowd of Sox fans on the field before the game. Jerry had more than enough time to chat with Bill Cowher, who was there prior to the game on Monday, and frankly, I'd rather talk to him too. But one of these days, Reinsdorf, who did chat ambly with us, a few of us during spring training, should answer some actual questions about the sorry state of this franchise. When it comes to the proven issues with the team, let's remember this isn't high school. The White Sox roster isn't made up of players who live in Bridgeport, Wentworth Gardens, and Canaryville. Hahn signed and traded for these guys. He's been with the team forever and has been the GM since after the 2012 season. Williams has been here forever and a day. This is their responsibility. No one cares if the players are getting along. that they're not winning is the issue, and that's not a surprise either. I think a part of the element is is the adversity, Hans said. When we were rolling in 2021, we had some issues. We had some clubhouse issues. We had some disputes along the way in 21, but things were going so well, we were able to overcome them. My mistake, if you want to put one, or you can put many on me if you'd like, is that I perhaps overestimated the strength in that room to deal with adversity. We got off to a wretched start and things snowballed from there. I thought we had the strength and the presence to pull ourselves out from under it. Instead of throwing stones, pull together and bond over the adversity and us against the world kind of thing. And it didn't happen. Greenberg continued. White Sox fans and some of us reporters welcomed the rebuild and a fresh approach to building a team. One of us even gave Hahn an award before he accomplished anything. For a while, there was hope and promise in the air. There was change, like that famous White Sox fan once said, that we could believe in. But after a couple of years, everything reverted to the way it always is on the South Side, an ugly mess of recriminations, gossip, and losing. So maybe it wasn't news that we find ourselves Monday listening to promises and platitudes about what is going to be different in the future at 35th and Shields, but this time no one believed it. And that, again, nice piece by John Greenberg, and that's the tone of it, is no one's believing this anymore. We've heard it over and over again. Why should we believe this? Why should we get behind these statements from Hahn or Pedro Grifol, who in my mind should absolutely be one and done? He has proved to me that he just cannot control a team. He cannot control perhaps a coaching staff. I get it. It was his first year, but I'm sorry. We need someone in that has a voice and authority with a track record, with a resume that will command attention, that can be a presence that knows how to get things back on track immediately, and perhaps knows how to not even let things get off track. You wouldn't dare to get off track. Grifol is not the guy in my mind. We shall see. But again, I don't believe a word Hahn would said, but he is begging you, believe us this time. We know what we did, and we want to try again, almost to earn your trust. So what happened in Oakland earlier this season was clearly a unified and well-organized message, but could it work at 35th and Shields? More on that in a moment. Today's episode is brought to you by Bird Dogs. Bird Dogs, they make you look good. Bird Dogs stretch khaki shorts are designed to fit slimmer through the thigh and leg, giving you a truly sculpted look. Bird Dog shorts do the exact same thing as Lululemon, but fit way better. They fit better than regular shorts that are made of a stiff, restricting cotton. Bird Dogs fixed this issue by inventing cloud knit fabric that looks just like khaki, but stretches so you get a way slimmer fit without having to sacrifice movement. Bird Dogs uses anti-stink sweat wicking fabric that keeps you cool and dry all day long. I have told you about these shorts, and I am honest. I'm telling you, these are the most comfortable shorts that I have ever worn. You can do just about anything you want in them. You go for a jog if you want, just, bum around the house, do some yard work, run errands. They are extremely comfortable. Go to birddogs.com/LockedOnMLB or enter promo code LockedOnMLB for a free white tech hat with any order. You won't want to take your Bird Dogs off. We promise you. Our White Sox face off against the Yankees on Wednesday. Catch every pitch of the White Sox hometown broadcast with Sirius XM on the SXM app. Search White Sox. So when I mentioned what happened in Oakland earlier this year, that was, of course, the reverse boycott. And if you saw any video from this event, it just looked like it was well staged, well organized. They had shirts, they had signs, they were unified in what they were doing during the game, when they were chanting, when they were silent. It was pretty cool. I mean, to the fact that it was so loud, the chants were so loud that I don't even think you could hear some of the broadcasters. Pitchcom was not even an issue. You couldn't hear that. It was a really powerful scene. I appreciated that. And look, could it happen on the South Side? It might be. This might be tried on the South Side. It sounds like there's an event in the works here, and I'm just the messenger for this event. It was passed along to me. Someone got to me on social media and say, hey, wondering if you could pass this along, kind of give it some publicity. And now it's go to White Sox Reddit. I'm not on White Sox Reddit very often at all, but that's where a lot of the details are. Also, you can go on Twitter at Sell the Team JR to get some more of the details. I'll go through some of them right now, but August 24th, so coming up in a couple weeks, Oakland is in town. It sounds like this is when this event is going to try to take off here. So this was the write-up that I got passed along here. The Oakland A's come to town August 24th through the 27th, and I don't believe there would be a better time for this. I propose we organize a Sell the Team night and get as many Sox fans together as possible to get some chants going all game. Doing so would let the front office know the fans have a loud voice while also showing solidarity with our Oakland A's brothers and sisters who will soon be losing their team. Look, I know Jerry isn't going to nod and bow down because of this. However, seeing thousands and thousands of fans chanting their heads off like it's a playoff game would go down in Sox history. It could be major news. Another black eye for the organization. Anything to make Hahn and any other media-facing individuals squirm is a win. I will never forget the loud fire Tony chants from last year and the absolute stink that caused. All the years of treating fans like garbage, no more. I've had enough of this organization and its incompetence. We deserve better. And this is being suggested on Thursday, August 24th, which is also Police and Fire Night. It is a 7 p.m. game. Dress in black, bring banners, signs, gather your friends, support in any way. So, this isn't apples to apples. What's going on in Oakland is very different than what is happening, in Chicago with Jerry Reinsdorf and the White Sox. But, could it work? I've heard from so many people when I advertise this on social media, it's a waste of your time. Why would anybody want to pay, money just to put in Jerry's pocket, food, concessions, parking, all this stuff? To deliver a message that he will not listen to, he doesn't care about, life will go on for him. You are basically just lining his pockets with a sold out night. And I get that. I understand that, the dollars and cents and everything. But my thing is, I applaud, I applaud the organizing. I applaud the creativity. I applaud, if you are just extremely frustrated, and we all are with this franchise, and you're at a point where I just need to be heard, maybe not listened to, but I just need to be heard. And I feel like my voice is not enough, and I need to collectively organize, and we need to just get a message out there that the media might catch on, like the Sell the Team banners that have popped up at the stadium last season. That became big news. What did Jerry think of it? What did it do to him? We don't know. We don't know any of that. Obviously, he's still the owner of the White Sox. So what I applaud somebody's efforts of saying, hey, I can't do this anymore. There has to be some sort of movement. And again, will Jerry even pay attention? Will it have some sort of reverse effect? That to me, I think it's worth a shot, though. I really do. Just if you believe in something and you have this notion of, what, I think if we band together and we can just get some sort of message out there, unified for an entire game, who knows? Again, I applaud the efforts, and I just wanted to pass along this event. This is happening on Thursday, August 24th. And, this takes a lot of organization. It takes a lot of, planning and everything. So there's about 2 weeks to go for this. So we'll see what comes of it. But again, there's more information on Twitter. Sell the team, JR. Again, Thursday, August 24th. And I get it. I know what probably a lot of people are saying is it's a waste of your time. Jerry doesn't care. You are just going to be making him more money. And I think it goes a little bit more beyond that. If Jerry cares or not, I don't know if that is, in my opinion, I don't know if that's the major focus. I think it's just being heard in a large symphony type of way with a lot of other, rubbing shoulders with like-minded people who are also all frustrated and aggravating and just trying for one night to send a big unified message. I think that's what really it's coming down to. White Sox trying to go for the series win with Mike Clevenger on the mound on Wednesday. More on that in a moment. Today's episode is brought to you by Sleeper. Hey, Sleeper is a fantasy sports and real money gaming app focused on bringing people together through sports and gaming. Sleeper has become the fastest growing fantasy platform in the world while earning some of the highest levels of engagement per user in the industry. At Sleeper, it's not just about sports, it's about building personal connections and lasting memories. Swing for the fences on Sleeper picks, and you can win up to 100 times your money. Use promo code LOCKEDON, and Sleeper will match your first deposit up to $100. Predict the hottest baseball stats like home runs, hits, strikeouts, and much more to cash in on your daily fantasy baseball skills. Use promo code LOCKEDON, and Sleeper will match your first deposit up to $100. First-time depositors, again, can receive 100% instant deposit match up to $100 using promo code LOCKEDON. Don't forget to enter promo code LOCKEDON and sign up for an instant deposit match up to $100 with Sleeper. It's a finale on the South Side, Sox and Yankees. Mike Clevenger on the hill for the White Sox. Yankees have not named a starter as I record here. Is this a tryout for Mike Clevenger? These next throughout August and September, will the Sox even be entertaining picking up his option? I believe they have that option to do so. Rotation looking pretty thin in 2024. Do they look at Mike Clevenger and say, we want this guy around again? With everything that they're talking about in regards to culture and team leaders and all this stuff, they need arms. I don't know what the direction. I really don't know what the Sox are going to do with pitching, and we'll see what happens with this guy. Clevenger is 1-2 with an ERA of 4.32 and 31 strikeouts in 5 appearances versus the Yankees in his career. Clevenger faced the Yankees back on June 8th of this season. 5 2/3, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, a couple of home runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Clevenger has a record of 4-5 with an ERA of 3.72 and 58 strikeouts in 14 appearances this season. Last time we saw Clevenger, it was game 1 of the Cleveland series. 5 innings, 8 hits, 3 earned runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. So, there's so much going on with this organization. I mean, talking to Sox fans at the game on Tuesday, and, it's just a lot of like shaking the head and just, shrugging your shoulders. I don't know where we go from here, between all the mess that's coming out of, the culture and maybe factions of players and lack of leadership. And, Pedro Grifol probably just almost asleep at the wheel, not knowing what's going on, doesn't know how to fix it, looking for leaders, but he should be a leader himself. You got Ozzie Guillen going off on stuff, column after column being written, which I love. Like, more, just keep writing these columns, keep it up. keep hammering away at this front office and at Jerry Reinsdorf and the ownership group, because it really is. It's just nauseating. And that's what I keep coming around to with any Sox fan that I talk to. It's just, there has to be change, but it starts from the top down. But we know that, I don't see an ownership change. I really don't anytime soon. Can Hahn be removed? He almost just seems untouchable. He should absolutely be removed. Kenny Williams should be gone. But again, there might be some players change. They're going to try to put together a different type of roster. But at the end of the day, who's making the decisions? The same people are deciding the fate of coaching staff and players and all that other kind of stuff. So again, the trickle down, it's ugly, it's nasty, it's toxic. Can winning overcome that? Maybe, so you just got to trust that these guys making the decisions in the front office will be able to put the right players there and the right manager and coaches. There's just a lot of question marks. So let's just be rooting for, beat the Yankees, win the series against the Yankees. That's always nice to beat New York. Folks, thank you so very much for making this podcast part of your daily routine. You can find the Locked On White Sox podcast absolutely everywhere you find your podcasts. We're on Twitter at Locked On Sox. You can find me on Twitter at Nick_GGTB. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, wouldn't mind you giving some attention to the Good Guys Talk Back. We got a YouTube channel, and the audio can be found everywhere. That's going to be my new permanent home after my last episode here with Locked On August 17th. Sox take on the Yankees on Wednesday. Catch every pitch at the hometown White Sox hometown broadcast with Sirius XM on the SXM app. Search White Sox. Thanks for making Locked On White Sox your first listen every day. Hey, everydayers, man, I appreciate it. You know who you are. On the next episode, I'll recap the series finale. Hopefully, be celebrating a White Sox series win. Appreciate you making time for the Locked On White Sox podcast. I'm Nick Morawski. Until next time, go Sox.